Welcome everyone to Depression on the Apex. I'm sorry. Welcome everyone to Pod on the Apex. With your hosts, I'm Pratyush and here's Aniket. And we are here to talk about the dumpster fire, if you're a Ferrari fan, that was the Hungarian Grand Prix. Or the absolutely spectacular race if you're a Lando Norris fan. Aniket, oh man. We thought it'll be a boring race. What should have been a boring Ferrari victory? But we ended up with a McLaren 1-2. And props to McLaren. It looks like they're finally doing well, right? They get another 1-2. They finally, as we've been saying in this pod for so long, they should be bold with their strategies, and they were bold with Lando Norris. And despite his bad start, slipping on a P5, he won the race. So I think that's it. We can seal the season. I think that yesterday felt official. Okay, it's one of Lando or Oscar, but definitely nobody else. I mean, Max has fallen off. He's behind Gabriel Bortoletto. I think we can safely say that nobody else is winning this season.
Yeah, I think credit to McLaren. They allowed the drivers to fight. They
Yeah.
allow the drivers to pick the strategies as well. So it's 9 points between them as we head into the summer break now, and we have what I think 11 more races after
Well,
this after the summer.
sorry, 10 more races.
10 more races after
Yeah.
the summer break. So I think it's anyone's championship now, right? McLaren need to allow the drivers to fight on the track as well as in the strategies as well. Make sure the drivers don't do the same thing, or at least if given a chance, they allow them to pick their strategies as and when the races keep going. And I'm sure that we'll probably see somebody else win a race apart from McLaren in these
Yeah.
next 10 races.
Yeah.
But it's about consistency now. So one of Oscar, Lando, one of them who's more consistent.
Yeah, it looks to be a seesaw battle in between them.
Because
So
reliability wise, none of them have suffered anything as such
yeah,
so
not at all.
far. The engines as well as the aero side. So none of them have suffered anything. So touchwood, the reliability stays intact, and we see some on-track battles as we head into the second half of the season, like next month or end of
Yeah.
this month.
Next
So
race end of this month. It's in the
yeah,
Verstappen land, Zandvoort.
then what? We'll see. Maybe Max is competitive there, and maybe Max
Nah,
has
man.
some.
I think Max is done. Let me tell you, Aniket. If you see, and of course you've seen the Hungarian Grand Prix results. Max Verstappen finished behind Liam Lawson.
He did.
He's done. His season is done.
I mean, his season is done, but I'm sure like he can probably win another race. I mean, despite him saying he cannot win another race, it
Yeah,
depends
maybe
now.
he'll actually win Singapore now because the Red Bull is so crap this year.
Maybe the McLaren take each other out one of these races. Who knows?
Oh
Like it
man,
was
I'm waiting for that. We are so close to a Russell Leclerc Alonso podium
Oscar
yesterday.
tried to he tried, but he dove down the inside, right? He tried that move again. He couldn't make it stick. He brake late, locked up,
Yeah.
almost hit Lando. Maybe one of the next races we actually do get an incident and somebody else takes advantage of it. But apart from that, good job from McLaren.
Yep.
They didn't like fall to Ferrari's tactics or anything like that. They let their own strategies play out. I mean, the best car on the grid by far. And apart from that, we did see some noticeable results. We did see Gabriel Bortoletto, what, sixth, I think, and
Yep. P6 for Bartoletto, 5 and 7 for Aston Martin.
yeah,
Antonelli back in the points. Hamilton
George
out of the
Russell
points.
P3,
Yeah, George Russell. I mean, of course.
of course.
But before we move on to our main topic, as we're about to, which obviously I don't think our viewers will be surprised, wearing two of these horses. But I want to quickly talk about the McLaren drivers. I think yesterday after the race and the discourse surrounding, the race concerning the two drivers made me realize one thing. We are way more hard, or should I say, we are way harder on Lando Norris than Oscar Piastri when both make the same mistakes. Oscar Piastri twice now has locked up when trying to overtake Lando, right? We saw it in Austria. We call it papaya fruit ninja multiple times on this pod when the Austrian thing happened. And it happened again yesterday in Budapest at the Hungaroring. Twice he almost banged into Lando from behind, and that would have easily taken both of them out. It was not like Lando's teensy little bump into Oscar. At which race was that? I forget, but a couple of races earlier. It was not like that. This would be a full on accident where both would be taken out and would be in the walls because you're at the end of a straight, your speeds are high, and you're braking hard. Your car, 850, 900 kilos of momentum going into another F1 car is going to take it out, right? But you don't see any discourse from the media or anywhere else that, oh, Oscar Piastri is making mistakes. Oh, Oscar Piastri is mental weak. Oh, Oscar Piastri that. Everything's like, oh, Oscar, my sweet baby boy, mistakes happen, blah, blah, blah. But the same thing Lando happens, and we have been guilty about that too on, previous episodes. But the same mistake Lando Norris does it, and what do we say? Oh, does Lando Norris have the fight to win a championship? Oh, does Lando Norris, is he up for it? I mean, literally, again, I'm not making us ourselves immune from this. We literally release a clip saying, "Can Lando Norris fight back?" So I'm not excluding ourselves, but I'm just saying the difference in discourse between the two drivers, for the sole reason that one driver is more open about his mental health struggles, right? Um, Oscar Piastri is more of the the calm and quiet type, doesn't show many
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah.
Lando Norris, for better or for worse, wears his heart on his sleeve. And I think that is affecting a lot of the media discourse around these two drivers. Don't you? What do you think, Aniket?
I think it's slightly fair. I mean, we do criticize Lando more than we do Oscar.
Yeah,
I would say like Lando over the course of this season as well as last season has made more mistakes than Oscar. So definitely we need to give him, or we need to dish out criticism where it's due. But as you said, Oscar deserves some of his critics as well, or he deserves some critics as well because he's done his fair share of mistakes as well. As you said, the locking up in Austria, the locking up in this race also, and he had multiple mistakes early on in the season as well, and we don't talk about it. It's easy
yeah,
to pick on Lando, I feel, and than Oscar because Oscar reminds us of so much of like a Kimi Raikkonen who was like extremely cool under pressure or something.
right.
So this season is again going to come down to like who makes the least mistakes, and at this point you can say it's the 50-50 in terms of who's made more
Yeah,
mistakes than the
yeah,
other, right? It's been that kind of a championship.
yeah. I mean, they're
and
9 points away. That's like nothing in F1.
I think McLaren, they're allowing the drivers to fight equally in the track. It's not like Oscar pitted twice, so Lando, you need to go
Mm,
and pit twice. So they
right.
give Lando his choice, right? They give him an
Yeah,
option to stay on track or pit again. And Lando drove superbly this Hungarian Grand Prix after falling down a fifth on the opening lap. He didn't get bogged down. He did his own thing, and he kept preserved the tires extremely well. He did like what 40 laps or something
yeah, yeah.
on those hard tires. So traffic came to his rescue at the end, but I think like he did a superb job to win that race. Fully deserved it. Oscar, obviously, you could say better driver over the weekend because he got pole and stuff. But
Mm.
Lando in that 70 lap race or towards the back of it, especially, was
Yeah, I
extremely
mean,
superb.
yeah, exactly. I mean, credit where it's due, man. In the last
Yeah,
4 races, or even if you take the last 7 races, Lando has won 4 out of the last 7 races, right? He has won Monaco, he has won Austria, he has won Silverstone, and he has won Hungary yesterday. And Oscar won at Spain and Belgium, right? And of course, we had one race where George Russell won a race. Wow, this guy really wins races by doing nothing. but sorry, Russell fans, don't kill me. But yeah, I think the thing is, yeah, I mean, I know we kind of slated on Lando in the last pod after Belgium, right? And I kind of regret releasing that video. I mean, that clip titling "Can Lando Norris fight back?" But he is fighting back. He has won 4 of the last 7 races. He is fighting back. The gap is down to 9 points, and I think this is a very different Lando from last year. Um, it has to be said. I think Land of last year, yes, there were criticisms, right? He had a very golden chance to defeat Max, and he didn't. He kind of crumbled under pressure, and we all saw that. But Lando this year, I think he's tougher. I think we're not giving him enough credit, and I think the way he has fought back after the early, if you look at the first quarter of the season, the first 6 races, Oscar won 4, and Lando just won the season opener at Australia. And Oscar kept winning races, bar Japan and Imola. He won China, he won Bahrain, Saudi, Miami, and then Lando has come back. So yeah, let's see, Aniket.
yeah. I
Hope
think
so.
that's the only thing we need to look forward to, right? And I mean, we've basically got two drivers from the same team fighting for a championship.
Yeah, and two
So,
very good drivers as well.
so we are gonna have our eyes glued to the screens, like in the second half of the season. I mean, seeing how this actually turns up, how this actually turns out in terms
Yeah,
of which driver has the upper hand. Because every weekend it does seem like one driver has the upper hand over the other.
right.
So we'll see how it plays out and hope it's interesting. Hope
Yeah.
it comes down to the last race, maybe the
Oh
last
yeah,
lap
Abu
or
Dhabi.
something like that. Abu Dhabi last
And then
lap,
Franco
last.
Colapinto in the wall. Oh man. Yeah, I also like that McLaren has also given independence to the strategy teams, right? We don't
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
I think if you remember, Aniket, back to 2016, Mercedes were like, you fight on track, but you're getting the same strategy, right? There's not
yeah.
much independence around strategies and all of that. McLaren's like, go for it, boys. I mean, you have literally two teams, two different teams fighting each other, right? It's like you said the Lando Norris team and the Oscar Piastri team,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
that's good. I mean, I'm happy to see that. I don't think has any other team done that, Aniket? I mean,
I mean, you probably in 2007 between Hamilton and Alonso when it got very bad. I think you had at that time.
right?
I
Yeah,
mean, though
yeah,
neither won the title in the end, but still you had like two different camps at that time.
true, true. Yeah, I agree. So it's been a long time, right? 2007 was
Yeah.
18 years ago. Uh, I think
I mean,
also
you.
to be fair, we haven't had a team with such equal drivers, right? Except maybe Lewis and Rosberg.
Yeah.
We haven't had another team like that. And Red Bull has always been a number one, number two. Ferrari has
Yes.
always been a number one, number two. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, I think, yeah, the summer break now, but it is looking to be a spicy end to the season. Talking about spiciness, Aniket, let's go to our main topic for today.
Yes.
The prancing horse, or the horse that forgot to prance, more like. Ferrari.
The
My.
prancing snail. Replace the logo, man. Get the horse out.
Yeah, get the horse
The
out,
horse is
man.
a beautiful animal, and you're like disgracing it at this point.
Yeah, wasn't there? I'm too lazy to find it now, but there's this meme logo of Ferrari where the horse has left the.
Yes, the picture.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
horse, this horse just kind of goes out of the picture. And like, I'm done with this, man. I'm holding a cigarette or whatever. But
So
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, okay. Let's split it into two, two sections, right? Charles. Let's do Charles first, and then
Yeah,
we'll
there's
come
a
to Lewis.
Charles first. I think Lewis is a
Yeah.
different discussion. I think
Yes.
it's probably a broader discussion about Lewis also rather than
Yes.
just the team.
Yes.
But Charles, man, this guy did nothing wrong yesterday.
Firstly, he was happy with the updates, right? I mean, he said the updates were going in the direction that he was happy with.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
felt more at one with the car,
right.
and though like he did not have a brilliant Q1 and Q2, he just scraped into Q3 at the end. But the conditions came to him, the track came to him, the tires came to him, and he put that car on pole when nobody expected it to be on pole, right?
And what a lap it was.
And what a lap! And he delivered the quote of the season when he said he doesn't know anything after today or something like that. So I'll probably use
Man,
that every day now.
Leclerc with the golden code this season.
I know. So everything was fine up till that, and then on the race day itself, he had two brilliant stints. He started the race well. He kept Oscar behind him. He kind of increased the lead at certain points of the race.
Yeah,
Then he had a good pit stop. He came out ahead of Oscar again. He had a good first couple of stints, and then it kind of unraveled in the second stint. Right? He, I mean, he fell for the McLaren dummy. He went and pitted earlier than probably he should have done, and then everything unraveled because there's so many now there's so many theories coming out. Some chassis problem, some plank issue,
yeah, yeah.
something with fuel wear, tire wear. So we don't know exactly what's going
Yeah,
wrong.
we don't know what. I mean, he was good for two stints, right? Like you said, the
Yes.
first stint, he was fast. He had a brilliant start when lights went out. He pulled away from Oscar, built a healthy 3-4 second gap. And then I think Oscar pit first at the end of the first stint. And Charles immediately pit. Ferrari, for once, had some sense because the undercut is so powerful here.
Yeah.
Like you said, they pit and, they come out on hards. And he was doing well on the hards too, right? He was matching Oscar in lap times. But then I don't know. Like you said, obviously he did get baited by McLaren there to pit. But again, that should not have affected his race. I don't know what happened in the pit stop,
Yeah.
man. Like, sure, I mean, obviously we saw the George Russell theory, which said
Yeah.
they increase the tire pressures to increase ride height
Yeah.
because they had plank wear problems.
they've been having plank problems throughout the season,
Yeah,
right? There's the disqualification in China and there's few other races where they, a lot of lifting and coasting, and
yeah.
I mean, basically they've been having a lot of issues in this car throughout the season, right?
I think not
So
just this season. I think the entire ground effect era. I think Ferrari has been much lower. They had very
yeah,
bad porpoising problems as well in the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that happened. Charles basically his race got ruined. He fell
Yep.
to P3, then ultimately to P4 behind George, and
And
then
40
finishing like
seconds behind the leader. 40
so.
seconds. This guy was leading the race. Like, even if you
Yeah.
would say, oh, Lando Norris did a pit stop, Oscar had two pit stops and he was 38 seconds behind Oscar.
And we obviously need to talk about Charles at some point, right? He's one of the best drivers on the grid. I
Yeah.
would rate him equal to Max and Lando, Oscar, who
Yeah.
else? I don't know, George as well. But he's stuck with Ferrari. Like he's in kind of a death row contract. I don't know when he
Yeah.
signed up to Ferrari. When he signed to Ferrari till like 2030, 2031
Yeah.
or something like that. Who knows?
And sorry, 42 seconds behind Oscar, not 38. Oscar was like half a second behind Lando. Stand
So
corrected.
you have a driver who's able to put on pole like in shocking conditions or in a shocking manner,
Yeah.
and then he's being given a ass car from by his team to
Hmm.
drive season after season. I mean, even in 2022 when the car was good, everything else was bad, and then after that everything was
Okay.
and then last year they had a good car
No,
for
no, no.
certain periods of time.
No, no, no. 2022, I blame Toto, man. I blame Toto for 2022. That nonsense about right head ruined it. It gifted the championship to Ferrari. I mean, yes, sorry, gifted the championship to Red Bull. I mean, Ferrari did have bad upgrades that season,
Yeah.
midway, but I think Toto gifted 2022 and 2023 to Red Bull with that, you know, hangama office.
Yeah, but Charles is what now 8 seasons into Ferrari and uh
Has it been eight?
2019, right? So what, seven, six,
Yeah,
no,
this is seven.
seven,
Oh my god, it's the
seventh
seventh
season.
season. Oh my
So
god.
7 seasons into Ferrari, and he's won the same amount of races as
Yeah.
Oscar and one less race down than Lando Norris. So,
Yeah.
and this is Lando and Oscar who've just started winning race from the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lando's first race was last season.
Yes. And in 7 seasons, Charles has only won 9 races
Yep. Which
or
is
8 races.
is
Sorry,
shocking. He
which
also
is
he also
shocking.
has the one of the lowest pole conversion rates, right?
So why is that, you ask? It's because of Ferrari strategies. Something goes wrong every race, and I'm just wondering how long is he going to stay there because this just keeps happening. Now we're going to a new set of regulations. Say Ferrari does not have a good car.
Oh my god, we are
What's next?
so screwed for the next four
What's
years if that
next?
happens.
Yeah, I mean
Because I think the
Shaz will
next,
want to ask out, right? I'm assuming
yeah,
I know he's a very loyal company man and all that, but at one point he needs to start worrying about his
yeah,
future.
yeah.
Does he actually want to win a title or not? So
No, totally. I mean, I think he does feel, indebted to Ferrari to an extent because he came through their academy. There's a whole connection with Jules Bianchi and Antoine and all these other Ferrari folks as well. Who, he feels, he told his dad he signed a contract with Ferrari, you know, on his deathbed. So Charles obviously has, I think, that emotional connection to Ferrari, right? But like you said, he has to start thinking how long can he take it, right?
yeah,
He has to ask the questions that Max Verstappen has been asking himself. And Max Verstappen has won 4 titles at Red Bull. And yet, half a season, and Max Verstappen is only asking questions, should I stay at Red Bull, right? And Max Verstappen has much more of a connection to Red Bull, I would say, not just from an emotional perspective, but also from a business perspective, right? Um, all his other racing teams, whether it's his e-racing teams or his other, I forget the names of sportsman, but his other motor racing
yeah,
teams, Verstappen.com, they're all Red Bull branded, right? Like Max Verstappen and Red Bull are like one entity, essentially. That's how intertwined those two are. And he has been ready to walk away completely and deal with the fallout, right? We saw how the Mercedes rumors came, and even Toto was very forthcoming, saying that, hey, it's not me who contacted Max, but Max contacted me. His representatives reached out, right? I mean, Toto said that pretty clearly with the media. So obviously, Charles, I don't know, man. If I mean, knowing what you know about Charles, if 2026 is a disaster, which again, I mean, we don't know, right? It might be, it might not be. Do you think
Who
Charles
knows?
remains in 2027?
So 2027 is going to be a season where there's going to be a lot of open seats, right? We don't know. Mercedes, Red Bull might have an open seat. Then Aston Martin don't have anyone signed up for 2027.
Hmm.
McLaren might or may not, depending on how their drivers perform this season and the next season. I mean, this season is okay, but next season we don't know how they're going to be. So come 2027, there might be a full reset of drivers or driver lineup. So I think Charles definitely needs to keep his options. Next season is going to be very crucial for Ferrari. If they kickstart the season with few victories and Charles has confidence, then he might be thinking, okay, this is where I need to stay for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this is my best chance to win a title. But if next season also starts like how this season has started, and knowing Ferrari, they managed to screw up season after season. I mean, this is a team which has not won a title for like 18 years now. So 18 years drivers title and 17 years constructors championship. So you can imagine it's been so long, and this
Yep.
is this is not the standards that this team should aspire to be
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean,
So
I hope that, the contract extension of Fred Vassar, which we didn't talk on this spot, but, recently, I think a few days ago, Fred Vassar extended his contract for another, I think, 3 years with Ferrari as team principal. So I hope that is. I mean, Vassar has shown some results, right? It's not like Vassar's era has been completely bad, especially I mean towards the end of Binotto it completely went haywire. So Vassar has definitely steadied the ship, but obviously as we know with Ferrari especially they're a mammoth. It's not easy to course correct for a team like Ferrari, and he has made personal changes, right? And not just on Lewis, but also people behind the scenes. Has brought in a lot of new people. I know the strategy part is not just it's not changed yet, but for example, they got rid of Enrico Cardile, and many other such folks. They got rid of Charles's race engineer. I mean, not got rid of. I mean, they moved in somewhere else, but obviously,
yeah, yeah,
he has made changes where, and I think Charles was even like mid-season. Right, it happened all of a sudden. Like suddenly, Brian Bossi is his new race engineer, and forget who the old guy was.
yeah. Even I don't remember who the
I
old
think
guy was.
Javier, I think. But
Yeah, Javier Simon or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So he has been making moves. I'm guessing the strategy thing is probably the same because nobody wants to come, or it's probably a money issue. We don't know, right? There's so many things happening behind the scenes of enterprise like Ferrari. But yeah, I think, I mean, like, come on, man. Ferrari, except that disaster for 2020 season, they have been generally good. So I think maybe they'll still fight next season. But obviously, we don't know how next season will pan out.
Yeah,
Mercedes are rumored to have a very strong engine. But yeah, I honestly don't know what's Ferrari's problem. I mean, at least, for now. Like, I mean, just coming back to this race, like, what happened in the third straight pan? Was it really plank wear? Was it a chassis damage? Like, how does the chassis get damaged?
yeah.
Did he go on a curb too hard and just kind of damage his floor or something? They obviously not said anything, which is probably a strategic reason for not revealing stuff. But
It does seem like what George Russell has said is has some truth to it.
yeah,
So we'll see if there's anything coming out from any insiders in the next few days, and maybe we may talk about it separately again.
yeah,
But I think we definitely in the last couple of minutes now need to get into Lewis.
yes, Lewis, man, yeah,
I'm kind of like distraught for him. Like as a Lewis
yeah,
fan, it's very hard to see him like
I
that.
know,
Especially he left us on such a note before summer break with like 4 weeks for the next race
yeah,
now.
man.
And Ferrari is kind of ruining him race by race, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted
So
to say how distraught Charles would have been after Hungaroring, but then I
yeah,
remember Lewis.
another level.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis, I mean, I think Vesser put a statement today that Lewis is frustrated but not demotivated. I mean, I think that has some kernel of truth to it because we have seen, Lewis, especially when you put a mic in his face, the minute you step out of the car, he does get a bit emotional. We have seen it in past seasons as well. Even seasons when he was winning, we have seen Lewis kind of, say non PR worthy things
Yeah.
out loud. But yeah, I mean, I do hope it's only that and he's not actually considering retirement. I mean, we have seen he's fast, right? We have seen he's fast. I mean, obviously,
We
has
just saw
made
Silverstone, we just saw Spa, right?
exactly. I mean, yes, he has been making probably more mistakes than he should have been as a 7-time world
I
champion.
mean, to be honest, these ground effect cars do not really suit his
Yeah,
style,
I think
and the
they're not
Ferrari
suiting his
car,
style at all.
and the Ferrari car is pretty complicated this season. It's a little bit of a garbage as well, because a lot of like it's got its own mood, right? The car sometimes it does well, sometimes like
Yeah, yeah.
does not do well. Then he's got to adjust with an Italian race engineer. He's got a little bit of
Whole
I
ass
think there's a
Italian
lot.
team, man.
Yeah, I mean, with all those adjustments, it's very difficult. And on top of that, he's not getting into Q3 as well now.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting knocked out in Belgium twice in Q1, now getting knocked out in Q2 while his teammate was on pole. Then the Ferrari made him start on hard tires, which I don't know was the right call or not. Then he
Yeah, I
lost
don't
two
know. I
places in the
think they
start.
probably felt he could go long and kind of have
But
a.
then it didn't make
It
sense
didn't
when
work
others
out.
went long, right? When the
Yeah.
medium runners also went long, it never made any sense. So they didn't analyze that strategy, or maybe they didn't anticipate medium runners going that long as well.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Did I think he still did two stops, right?
He still no, he did one stop.
He did one. Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. So yeah, and then he didn't. I mean, this is the first time I've seen Lewis start from a position and didn't gain any positions. Right? It's very rare you see a driver of his caliber not gain a single position in the entire race, which is
Yeah,
absolutely crazy. Got lapped by the McLarens. That's another kind of. It's embarrassment for Ferrari also, right? Getting lapped by a McLaren as well.
yeah. When you're
So
when you're second in the championship, your
yes,
rival is overtaking you, lapping you.
I mean the nature of Hungaroring is such that it's very difficult to overtake. You get stuck in a DRS train.
And the Ferrari
Also,
had the straight and advantage.
yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, obviously, I mean, lapping is probably a different thing because you're obliged to give way. But yeah, I think I don't know, Aniket.
But the comments before qualifying, after qualifying, when he said, Ferrari probably need to change driver, I'm
Yeah,
useless,
yeah,
and again after the race, he kind of had the similar sentiment, and he said things like there's some stuff going on in the background, so kind of a cryptic message,
yeah. What do you
and
think that is, Aniket? What is that stuff in the background? Any ideas? Any speculations for a pod on the Apex viewers?
I honestly don't have any idea. I think maybe it's something internally wherein the team is not listening to his directions, or
Not firing his engineer.
yeah, maybe that as well. I really have no idea. I mean, when stuff comes out like that. So,
Yeah, what can it be? Is he trying to poach Bono? What is it?
I mean, there were Toto Wolff was in the Ferrari garage, and Fred Vasseur
Oh
was in the
yes, yeah.
Mercedes. We
What
saw
was
that.
what is Toto Wolf doing in the Ferrari garage? Like I know him and Lewis and friends, but they can talk whenever they want, right? They literally
Yeah.
own yachts to meet. What's he doing
Are
in the
they like
Ferrari garage after the race?
are they like discussing a Lewis and Kimi swap or something like that? Lewis is
Oh,
like, I'm done with Ferrari half a season now. Let me go back.
oh my
Done with this
god.
experiment. So
And Toto is like Kimmy's Italian, you just take him.
yeah, exactly.
He's
I
also
have no
from
idea.
Imola, just take him, guys.
Yeah, man. But it was very sad to see Lewis. Like now, you think stuff like, is he gonna come back after the summer break? Is this gonna be last season?
No, I think he'll
He'll
definitely
probably
come back.
he will
I
he
don't
will.
think Lewis will quit mid-season, but I
And he
think
doesn't want to kid on a low like this.
yeah, yeah, no, obviously. But I think
Obviously,
the bigger discussion is Aniket, is he coming back next year? And that's what I want to ask you. Is Lewis Hamilton coming back in 2026?
we'll have to see the second half of the season how it goes. If these results don't improve, and if I mean, he did say he still loves racing.
Yeah.
Stupid question to ask, but I would rather ask than not in terms of his motivation. But if this is how the results keep continuing, in terms of one race he's P5, the second race he's P12,
Yeah.
and bad qualies while his
Hmm.
teammate is putting it on the front row or something like that,
I
then
mean,
I'm sure that
if
we'll have more questions and answers as
yeah,
to his
hmm,
plan forward. But it'll be sad. Like we want him to fight for the championship, right? We want him to be up there with the top drivers. He's not one to be in the midfield, and that's what is bothering him now, right? This is the guy who used to be fighting at the front, and now he's kind of a midfield guy,
hmm,
unfortunately. So we don't know how 2026 will hold up. Maybe he's not. I don't know if he's seen something which he doesn't like there or
hmm, hmm.
and stuff. So
But it's also strange. Obviously a couple of things. One thing is also, I mean, the Hungaroring is a circuit which he loves a lot. He
Yeah.
has won 9 freaking times here. So I mean, it's not like it's a new track for him, and yet him making those small errors which cost him in qualifying. But also, just Aniket, just a week ago after Spa, I mean, I know on the Saturday he was distraught and he kind of had some of these self doubt issues. But on
Yeah.
Sunday, after he had such a great drive, going from what I think P18 to P7, it was, um, he seemed much more peppier. He talked about
He,
how he's giving presentations to the factory,
yeah, he did. He did. And he
sending
talked about,
documents. And that was not just the 1 week before Spa. Like he said, it's like a continuous thing going on from a few months. And how he's giving the team feedback and how he's pushing the team to improve. And how he doesn't want to become like Vettel or Raikkonen or Alonso
yeah.
at Ferrari. And how he wants to win, how he has a hunger. And then less than a week later, he has one bad qualifying and he's like, oh man, should I retire? I mean, how much of this is adrenaline and how much of this is Lewis actually
Yeah, I mean,
thinking about
ideally,
this?
like, it's, I mean, getting the emotions right out of him jumping off the car, right?
Yeah.
So he's definitely emotionally charged up at that point. I would prefer he does a debrief, understands what went wrong, and then probably does, a written print to the media or something like that. Because I believe that obviously the Saturday comments after qualifying were him just out of the car and within 5. It's like you fail an exam and then you feel you're worthless.
Yeah. No, I
So
agree, but
it's similar
he
to
kind
that.
of reinforced that on Sunday, which is what worries me.
Again, Sunday he didn't make up any position, right? He just
Hmm.
finished 12th. He like got lapped. He would have probably seen that as well. So again, you're asking him stuff like 5 minutes after race. Maybe you ask him 1 hour after the race, 2 hours after the race. He might have some different opinion saying. So it's very difficult to gauge someone's opinion 5 minutes after a race. But
Yeah.
I understand where he would be coming from, and it's very frustrating for someone who's that good to be languishing in the midfield
Yeah, man.
with
He's like,
zero
he's one of the
overtakes
GOATs.
done.
7-time
Yeah.
world champion, more than 100 race victories, a bunch of, 70, 80 pole positions or whatever. He's not, I mean, come on, man. He's not like, no, I mean, no disrespect towards Alonso, but he's easily the best driver on the grid. I mean, from a point of view of legacy, right?
Yeah.
So it's really heartbreaking to see Lewis kind of all distraught like that. But we will see. We hope Lewis can take a break. I think the summer break has come at the right time for him.
Yeah.
So we hope he
Yeah.
can recharge. Take mind off. I think he was speaking about meeting the kids, which I probably means his nephews and nieces. He's going to go meet them and spend some time with them. Become Uncle Lewis rather than Sir Lewis for a few weeks, and
Yeah.
hopefully at Zandvoort we see a renewed Lewis with a fresh vigor, isn't it, Aniket?
We do. We hope we do, and because Zandvoort and the next race is Monza, so it's going to be Lewis's first race in Monza, Ferrari's home race. I'm sure Ferrari will do well there because for them it's all about home races,
Hmm.
home victories, and the season is a good season. So
Da, 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 da,
yeah, I'm
da,
sure
da,
they'll
da,
they'll
da,
they'll do something with the car that'll work in Monza, and they'll probably say, "Oh, what a good victory!
da, da,
Look at
da,
us."
da, da.
And then the next 4 races they'll be garbage after that. So that's how they are. So, yeah.
Yeah, next 4 races. I mean, it's Baku, Singapore, Austin, and Mexico. Yeah, they're going to be shit.
Yeah. So probably gonna be good in Monza because yeah, obviously. But then yeah.
Yeah. We will see. We shall see. That's yeah. I think we will see how it kind of turns up. Obviously, we want to end on an optimistic note for Lewis, and hopefully he becomes kind of recharges and comes back with renewed vigor for racing at Zandvoort. I think both of us would agree that he has a lot to give to racing still.
Yeah.
He still has it in him. We saw when he has the right car, we saw him win a dominant sprint in Shanghai. He didn't even have the best car that day, but it was in his zone and he won. And I think, I think also the disqualification in Shanghai kind of has spooked Ferrari this season, and they've kind of made it bad. I
Yeah.
think Ferrari drivers lift and coast the most out of any team right
Lewis
now.
started lifting and coasting in like lap one. It felt like
Yeah, lap 3, his radio message came lift and coast. So,
brakes. He was told to apply. He was told to change the brake pressure or something, and
yeah, yeah,
that was insane.
yeah. So, hopefully, I mean, this season is not too much of a write off of Ferrari despite the
Yeah.
suspension issues, and they can get something done. Yeah, but from our side, we will see you on the next one. I think we'll probably have some episodes before Zandvoort and some shots. So make sure to stay subscribed. Tell
Yeah.
your tell your gearhead crazy F1 friends about us, and let us know in the comments what you want to see from us.
And finally, a note from us. Thank you for 50 subscribers. Thank you for all the support. We really appreciate it. We are trying to make a lot of content on F1, and we just hope to continue getting your support. So feel free to leave it down in the comments as to what else you want us to do. While we're on this 4 week summer break now, and we'll be bringing you a lot more content. So stay tuned to the channel, and as Pratyu said, keep it locked in, keep it subscribed to us, and we'll see you on the next one very soon.
Absolutely. See
Till the
you.
next time.